how do you know when an equation is solved? Yes. So how do you know that? Not necessarily. Okay. Trey? Okay, but we're starting with an equal sign. Hold, please. No, our answer's gonna have a variable in it. Yeah. Okay, right now the variable plus 12 is equal to 10 though. Cody?
You know what the variable
Okay, but how do you know that that's right? Just common sense. Okay, sure. Selena says you have a correct answer that can't be simplified. Yes, but I want to know how you know it can't be simplified. Yeah.
I was gonna say that, like, if you don't, like, to get the, like, correct answer, like you get your answer, then do, like, the inverse operation. Like, say for that one, say the answer is -2.
Okay. Which, spoiler alert, that's fine. I know that you probably know the answer to number 1 is -2. I don't really care about that too much right now. But I am going to be very, very, very annoying. And if you write -2 and that's it, I'm not going to give you credit. You need to write M equals -2. Because if you just write -2, you could be talking about -2 zebras. I don't know what you're talking about. M equals -2. But how do I know that that is right? Yes.
When you have no more things in between, like plus and minus.
Okay, expand on that a little bit. You're getting there. Yes.
When everything has a rule, like a purpose.
It didn't have a purpose before.
When everything is a number.
Hold on, Nihal, I'll look at it in a second. We're getting there. Okay, Selena, so I think you're talking about like plugging it back in. Cool, yeah, but how do I know that that's right? I'm gonna be really annoying for like 5 minutes probably. How do you know that M equals -2 is being done simplified? Thanks, Nihal. Okay, so Tatum says an equal sign, but we started with an equal sign. M plus 12 equals 10. So the equal sign doesn't necessarily mean that I'm done. All right, let's keep going. So number 2, -2 equals G minus 9. So if we're solving this, and I'm not going to answer this question until someone comes up with it. If we're solving this, we want to do the opposite of -9, which would be to add 9. And since it's an equation, we want to do it to both sides. -2 plus 9 equals 7. So 7 equals G, or G equals 7. Am I done? Okay, what else can I do?
Oh, yeah.
How do you know?
There's no other variables to simplify?
No. Oh, y'all can't see. Oopsie. I'm flipping all over the place. Hold on. Yes.
You need to replace the G with the 7.
We could do that, but how do you know that 7 is, how do you know that we're done? Okay, I could do that, but how do I know that I'm done? Okay, so let's do another one. So number 3, -7y equals -91. So right now y is being multiplied by -7. So to solve, we want to do the opposite. The opposite of multiply by -7 would be to divide by -7. So y equals whatever -91 divided by -7 is. 13. Am I done?
Yes.
How do you know?
No more equations.
How do you know that? Yes, you're right. There is no more equation. What does it look like? How do I know that I'm done? Okay, expand on that. Think of, what are you trying to say? You're there.
A whole number?
No, I don't care. It could be
variable fits in. There's no more variable.
there is a variable.
There's no more simplification.
How do you know?
Because you're at your end stop.
How do you know?
Because that number fits into like the other number by another number.
I see all of your answers, and I'm gonna say that no one's gotten to where I want to yet. So let's go on to number 4. A is being divided by 9, so we want to do the opposite, which is multiply by 9. So A equals whatever -4 times 9 is. -36. I'm a broken record. Am I done? Yep, I am. I am. So I want you to look at those 4 answers. What is similar in all of those answers? Don't be scared to be wrong. Because you one of you is gonna get there. Yes.
The variable equals something.
Ooh, you almost said it. Say what you're gonna say. The variable what?
The variable. What was it?
Go ahead, Lauren.
I have a question about number 4.
Okay, what's your question?
Why did you multiply the 9?
Because since A over 9, that's a fraction, and fraction means division. So if we solve, we want to do the opposite, and the opposite of dividing by 9 would be multiplying by 9. Does that answer your question? Okay. Trey?
The variable has the variable affected the other number.
Nope. Yep.
The variable is equal to a constant.
Nope. It could be whatever. I mean, yes, a constant, but like,
An integer.
no, it could be decimal. It could be a fraction. We're just gonna sit and stare until someone just like bloop, says it out loud. Amalia, yes. Say it. Say it louder. I can't hear you. Say it.
All the variables are on one side and the numbers are on the other.
The variable is on one side by itself. The numbers are on the other side by itself. Is that true in all 4 of those? So that's how I know I'm done. When that variable is all by itself on one side of the equal sign, and then everything else got moved over to the other side of the equal sign. You're overthinking it, I think, hopefully, maybe. But that's how you know you're done being simplified, is when the variable ends up all by itself with a coefficient, in this case of 1, but no other things being added or subtracted, which someone kind of talked about, but like didn't like go off on that a little bit more. Nothing's being multiplied, nothing's being divided. The variable is on one side by itself. So that is how we know that we are done simplifying, okay? Number 5 is X is being multiplied by a fraction. We don't treat it any differently. If we are trying to get rid of that fraction, the opposite of multiply would be divide. So we want to divide both sides by 2/3. I am going to show you how to do this in your calculator before I talk a little bit more about this one. So I'm going to use these white calculators. If you don't have this calculator, then try your best to figure it out on whatever calculator you have. So if I'm trying to do 10 divided by 2/3, obviously I want to type 10. Then you want to type the division symbol, which is on the right-hand side. I know my right from my left. And then if you're trying to type a fraction, type the numerator, which is 2. The fraction bar is on the left-hand side, the second number from the top. It makes it look like a backwards L. That calculator reads that as a fraction bar. And then you're trying to type the denominator. So you should have like 2 backwards L, 3.
Where?
Say that again, Nihal. For the fraction bar, it's on the left, the second button from the top where it says like A/B/C. Do you see that? That's the fraction bar. And if you hit equals, you should get 15. If you didn't get 15, you need to let me know so that I can try and fix whatever issue's happening. Yeah, Lauren.
What were the numbers?
Say that again.
What were the numbers?
We're doing number 5, so 10 divided by 2/3. 10 divided by 2/3. Let me know if you don't get 15, and I can try and help you. Everybody in here, cool? Okay. When we're dividing by a fraction, we are actually doing something else. Your calculator's just doing it for you, okay? When you're dividing fractions, what should you do to solve that if we were doing it by hand? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I knew someone was going to say it. That makes me want to just take pencils and just like, yeah. Mathematics, you're not keep, flip, change. Go tell whoever taught you that. That just makes me crazy. Because you're not saying any math. Mathematically, what are you doing? Yeah. We are multiplying by the reciprocal. Go tell Mr. Jeffries to stop saying keep, flip, change. Okay. Because keep, flip, change, KFC, KCF, keep, change, whatever, I don't care. You are multiplying by the reciprocal. Lauren, what calculator are you using? Let me see it. Okay, so type a 10. I'm trying to, I think I have that one. I thought I did. And then hit division, Lauren. Then hit an open parenthesis because you have to make parentheses for the fractions on that calculator. You see the parenthesis? I can't see it. Okay, and then do 2 divided by 3 and close parenthesis. And then hit equals and let me know if you got 15. Yeah? Okay, cool. Again, this is just like a tangent Miss Simpkins hates. I hate like stupid acronyms like that, just like and that's just my personal issue. I hate PEMDAS, I hate KFC, KCF, KCC, whatever. I want you to know exactly what you're doing. You are multiplying by the reciprocal. So if we did that, 10 times 3 would be 30. 1 times 2 would be 2. What is 30 divided by 2? 15, which is what our answer in our calculator gave us, but I wanted y'all to realize like where that came from. Now, let's talk about showing our work. I don't care if you show your work. Makes no difference in my life. Because you have a calculator, like why would I force you to show your work? I don't care. But if you start getting every answer wrong, what's Miss Simpkins gonna say? Yeah, so if you're consistently getting answers right without showing any work, by all means, go for it. I don't care. But that would be my go-to if you're getting answers wrong. I want to see what you did. And if you don't write those things down, it's going to be hard for me to give you advice in the future. So if you're getting them right, cool. If you're not, then that would be my first piece of advice would be to start writing stuff down. Okay, so on number 6, right now, W is being multiplied by 4/9. So we want to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying by 4/9 would be dividing by 4/9. So again, please feel free to use your calculator. Now, if you have these, be careful to type a negative. You have to type the number first. Then the negative button is right under the fraction button. So I'll say that again. To type a negative, you have to hit the number first, and then the negative button that's right under the fraction button will give you -8. Yes. You sure? Okay. Then divided by 4/9. So 4, then use that fraction bar, 9, and you should get -18. Let me know if you don't get -18. Yes, sir.
Before you told me like the negative, I just hit the minus sign, then 8, and then it would.
Because it's reading that as 0 - 8, which is -8. So if you tried to do like number 7 that way, when you're dividing by a negative, that's not going to work because it's going to read it as a minus. Does that make sense? Okay. So what I want y'all to do, I want you to try 7 and 8. Y'all can raise your hand when you're done so I can look at your answers, and then digital students, send me your answers to those 2 in the chat.
Miss Simpkins,
Yeah, Bryce.
for number 6, my calculator says I got -1 over 18.
Which one are you using, this white calculator?
Yes.
Okay, so did you type in 8? Can you see my can you see my, like, where I'm showing this, Bryce?
Yes.
Okay, so type in 8 and then type this button on the left that says like +/- that'll give you a negative.
Okay.
And then hit the division symbol, obviously. And then type your fraction 4/9. So you want to hit 4, and then the fraction bar is on the top left under the shift, and then type your 9, and then you should hit equals, and it should give you -18.
Okay. It worked.
That worked. Okay, good. Again, let me know when you're done with these 2. Yeah, 7 and 8. Okay, on number 7, so K is being multiplied by -6/5. So we want to do the opposite. We want to divide both sides by -6/5. So you want to take 12 divided by -6/5. You should have gotten K is -10. And then 18, divide both sides by -1/2. -9 divided by -1/2 is 1/2 is +18. So you should have gotten -10 and +18 for 7 and 8. Okay, why are these all called one-step equations? Yeah, Asa.
There's really only one step into finding.
Yeah, there's only one step that we're going to do to solve it. So guess what we're going to do on 2-step equations? We're going to do 2 things to be able to solve them, right? When you are using order of operations, all of you know this acronym that I hate. When you're using order of operations, you use parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. When we are solving equations, we are essentially working backwards to find the answer. So when we're solving, we're going to do PEMDAS the opposite way. We're going to start with our addition, subtraction, then move on to our multiplication, division. For our class, we won't be looking a whole lot at when solving with exponents and parentheses, but that would be an option if we had that. So if we're looking at number 9, I see my variable X. Right now, there are 2 things that are happening to X. What 2 things are happening in this equation to our X on the same side? Yeah.
They're
Multiplied by 6, added by 8. So to get X alone, we got to do the opposite of those 2 things. But I start with my addition subtraction. So we're trying to get rid of a +8. And to do that, we want to do the opposite. The opposite of +8 would be -8. We want to do that to both sides. So on the left-hand side of that equal sign, I'm left with just 6x. What is 50 minus 8? 42. Well, look at that. I have a one-step equation. X is being multiplied by 6. I want to do the opposite. The opposite of multiplied by 6 would be divide. So 42 divided by 6 would be X equals, bless you, 7. X equals 7. You're good, Selena. Thank you. So same thing on number 10. What 2 things are happening to n that are variable? Multiply by 2, subtract by 5. So let's undo those 2 things. The opposite of subtract by 5 would be add. So we're left with 2n, because these minus 5 and plus 5 cancel, which was my goal. 11 over 5 or plus 5 would be 16. n is being multiplied by 2. The opposite would be divide. So n would equal 8. Good. N would equal 8. Okay, take a moment. I want you to try 11 and 12. Please be very cautious on number 12. Very cautious. Okay, so again, if you're having issues, this is how I want you to think about these. Find your variable. So on number 16, we're looking at m. M is being multiplied by -1/3 and added by 1. So we want to do the two opposite of those. We want to first subtract 1 to get -1/3 m equals -7 minus 1 would be -8. And then we want to divide both sides by -1/3. So m would equal +24 for number 16. 17, p is being multiplied by 7/4 and added by -10. So for us to get rid of a -10, we want to add 10. So that leaves us with 7/4 p, -38 plus 10 would be -28. And then you want to divide both sides by 7/4, which I believe is -16. Please let me know if I'm wrong. And then 18, x is being multiplied by -1/2 and also has a +9. So to get rid of a +9, we want to subtract it. So that would be 6, 15 minus 9 equals -1/2 x. And then you want to divide both sides by -1/2 to get x equals -12. Yeah, do not -12. I think you subtracted or added 9 instead of subtracted it. Yeah.